Joining the studio here in Westminster by Nick Candy, a leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage. And Nick Candy, why are you joining a party with just 5 MPs?
Well, Chris, thank you for having me, but I love our country. I think our country is amazing, but our country is in decline. I've got friends across the political spectrum. I've got some very good friends in the Labour Party. I've got some very good friends in the Tory Party, and they will always be my friends. But I genuinely believe it's time for a change in direction, and that change in direction is Reform and Nigel Farage.
This year, you backed the Tories at the start of the conference this year. I saw you at the Popcorn event, then Labour at the election, now Reform UK. What is your political journey? Why are you moving around so much?
Listen, I voted for Tony Blair when he came to the election. I voted for Boris and David Cameron and the guys there. I didn't vote for Labour at this general election. I said Keir Starmer's a good guy with good values and that it was time for change. After some 13 years of some promises that were made that weren't delivered on, I felt it was time for change. However, the last 4 or 5 months under Labour has been a disaster for them as well. They know it, we know it, the country knows it. And I believe that Reform and Nigel are the future, and I'm going to back them because we have one last chance at this. I've got 2 young daughters here in the country. I would like them to grow up here, but they don't need to grow up here. I have a choice, okay? And when my grandma came here to the UK, and she came from Cyprus many, many years ago. She's not with us anymore. She was a waitress up in Neasden. And I look at what's happening today, and she would have to be on the NHS wait list for 2-3 years. It's just a disaster. The country is in decline.
It's a Tory failure, Labour trying to get it right?
Labour have got it so wrong already. You can't tax your way out of this problem, OK? You have to grow the economy, OK? And I'm not a politician. I don't want to be a politician. But what I can do is I'm very good at raising monies for funds for businesses. I'm very good at helping operations of businesses. And I will make sure that Reform UK has the right funds to run their operations and businesses correctly.
You say you can raise enough funds to make them win the next general election. Nigel Farage, to my right, will become Prime Minister. How much do you think you can raise?
Well, I think for past general elections, sort of 25 to 40 million pounds has been raised for previous parties, and I think I will do significantly better than that.
More than 40 million?
Yes.
Wow. And
already this morning, I've had millions of pounds worth of donations from people that have never donated to a political party in this country. But it's not just about...
That's incredible.
It's not just about getting rich donors and billionaire people or whatever, or millionaire people to donate. We need the guys that have got £1, £5, £10, £25, £25 to be a member of Reform. Reform has 100,000 members now. The Tories have 130,000 members. I'm sure in the next 6 months, Reform will go past the Tory membership. And that will be a game changer in this country. And once they start winning some of these local elections and these by-elections, it's going to be a complete game changer. My only job is to raise them the funds to do it properly.
You'll be the treasurer in the new year of the company that owns Reform or the membership party?
Well, that is something that I'll deal with that. You know, I set the thing up as a company because I didn't want a new nascent political party to be taken over, hijacked by bad forces. And now the party's matured, you know, and it's gone beyond its teenage years in terms of development. So I'm changing it from my shareholding to being a completely different structure where effectively the members will own it. That's with the lawyers. I've got to get the Electoral Commission to agree to the change.
It takes time.
It takes time, but it's happening. I mean, I promised 2 things. You know, when I was in the town hall in Clacton, on that election night, I said 2 things. I would democratise the party. Well, we set branches up all around the country. They're choosing their candidates. I'm changing the structure. I'm with the lawyers. But I also promised, perhaps even more importantly, from the point of view of most of the public, that I'd professionalise the party. You know, no more shoddy vetting, the right candidates, the right people, the right structure. And I think putting in place people like Zia Yusuf as chairman has shown, you know, I want to get professionals involved. And today is a very, very big further step.
It's a big moment.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy raises, he knows rich people. He raises, until now it's been on you, really, isn't it, fundraising?
Yeah, completely. No, completely.
You'll sort of got the professional in maybe to do it.
There's no pressure on him. He's doing it because he wants. But you heard him earlier.
Yeah.
You know, he's got 2 young daughters. He's worried about the future of this country. I bet you watching live now, there are people of all ages really scared that we're in societal decline, that we're led by people who seem to accept this sort of gentle downward spiral. We're much more optimistic than that. We genuinely believe we can turn this around. And it's why, and you come to a Reform members' event. I mean, they're like rock concerts because people are optimistic. These are the people that will give us a better future.
They're far removed, though, from, if I may say so, the wealth of your new treasurer.
So what?
Yeah, maybe so what? Maybe,
Do you know what? Whether somebody has nothing or a lot of money, they're all human beings with the same feelings, the same emotions, the same concerns for their kids and grandkids.
And also, I started with £6,000 in 1995 with my brother. My grandma lent us that money. That's what she could afford. So for all the people out there that are upset with the state of the country and where it's going, and you've got to have hope. And if you don't have hope, yes, then you've got nothing, yes? Okay, and you have to have aspirational to do better. And I believe that Nigel is the right guy to do that for this country. I've seen it firsthand. He started as a dear friend, a close friend, and he's still a dear friend, okay? My kids call him Uncle Nigel, okay? And, but I've got other friends in the Labour Party and the Tories, yes? And those relationships will stay. Have
you told the Tories, like Kemi Badenoch, that you're...
Not Kemi, but I spoke with, I resigned my membership last night, okay, and I've spoken to Boris and other people, and okay...
What do they say to you when they say that you're backing Nigel Farage?
So, listen, I think they will be upset that I've gone to reform, but at the end of the day, we're friends, yes? And friendship, we can have different views on religion, business, politics. Doesn't mean I'm not your friend, yes? Yeah. We can respect each other's values and morals. Okay, that's what it's about. Just
on the nuts and bolts, you're going to give a £7 million figure. Has that happened already?
No, it hasn't.
Seven figures.
That's millions of pounds to laymen.
Yeah, so I will give I've committed to reform and to Nigel that I will give a 7-figure cheque. But also...
That one donation will transform your party. I mean, your biggest donation so far is 250,000 from Zia Yusuf, right?
In this incarnation, that's true. Yes, that is true.
I mean, that's a fact.
And by the way, Chris, this morning... Already on my phone, we have millions of pounds of donations from friends.
Made or pledges or donations?
Pledges that they said, listen, I will give you 250,000, I'll give you 500,000, I'll give you £1 million. Can you come and see me? Can Nigel come and see me? Can we speak? Yes. But we're not just after these huge donations. We need the person that I was the guy on the street, yes, that could only wanted to become a member of a party and pay the £25 membership donation. Okay, we need all of that. So we're going to have. We're not just going for these large checks. We want to make sure from ground up we've got huge donations. Yeah. And Gen Z love Nigel and the amount of money that he has the ability to raise from them and the way he relates.
The TikTok generation.
He relates,
very much so.
They relate to him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and this, of course, is again part of the big revolutionary change in British politics that I think is happening before our very eyes. It is a very engaged 16 to 24-year-old.
Can you turn it into power MPs? You know how hard it is to break through with the system weighted against you.
I've been at this game over 30 years. And I've had some good days and I've had some bad days, of course, inevitably. I think we're at a moment, potentially historic moment in British politics. And you know something? If we don't succeed, I just fear we're going to see our country continuing to go down the drain with many of our brightest and best young people leaving Britain.
While I've got you, there's rumours Suella Braverman may be your big signing for the MP base in Parliament.
You tell me.
I'm asking you. You're the boss of the party.
Well, you're the one that does all the gossip.
Her partner's come across.
Her husband joined at the weekend and within 24 hours was out leafleting and knocking on doors. Incredible. And he texted me and said, at last, something I can believe in again. As for what Suella's going to do, I don't know.
Are you talking to her?
No, I haven't done, actually. I haven't spoken to her since the election.
But other Tory MPs might come across?
I don't know.
Last question for you. Elon Musk.
Yeah.
The money man is here. He knows how to talk to rich people. Will Musk donate? Do you want him to donate?
I don't know. The fact that already today I'm going to say retweeted because re-X doesn't really work, but he's retweeted already a post about Nick becoming the party treasurer, and he said interesting. And I know Nick's got connections with him as well. Look, the fact that he's supportive of us, we're delighted with. If he wants to give us money and it's legal money, we'd be thrilled.
Candice, finally to you. You know Elon Musk. You might come across and give us some money.
I've never ever met him personally, but I have a very dear friend that is close with him. And actually, when Boris wanted to speak to Elon about 2 months ago, Boris's wife messaged me and said, "Do you think you could put him in contact with Elon?" And I did that via my friend. Okay, so there will be a chance to speak with Elon, and if he wants to donate, of course we'd love him to donate. If it can be done properly and legally and through the right mechanisms, then absolutely fine. Yes, but it's not all about just one guy. It's not all about Nick Candy. Yes, this is about changing this country for the better. And my only job here is I'm not a politician. I don't want to be a politician. I helped raise funds for the Tory party. I'm now helping Reform doing it. I think we'll break records of that, not because I'm so great at doing it. I believe people want that change.
And just finally, do you really think this man here, Nigel Farage, can be Prime Minister in 2029? That's what you're saying here with your pledge.
I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think Reform UK will be the party in government in 2029 and Nigel Farage will be the Prime Minister of this country.
Well, Nick Candy and Nigel Farage, you've got lunch to go to. Thank you for joining us here on GB News. Back